So, one of the most irritating things you can get when shooting with a camera is unwanted reflections. Well, that and background noise, and people walking through your shots, and equipment failures. But, one of the most irritating things is unwanted reflections. You're trying to shoot a nice crystal clear stream, only it looks more like a moving mirror. You're trying to get some awesome shots of a car, but everything is being reflected in those windows. So what can you do about all these unwanted reflections? Well, it's simple. You can use a circular polarizer filter, and in this video we're going to look at a very clever one that's been designed for the Hero 9, 10 and 11. So sit back and relax. This is DemonView. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you tuning in. In this video, we're going to be looking at using the Circular Polarizer Filter for your GoPro. This handy device cuts down on reflections when you're shooting video or taking photos and actually gives you a lot of control over these types of reflections. So when you're shooting a car video and maybe you want to show people inside the car, you can adjust the filter to remove glass reflection. Or maybe the people inside your car are actually a bunch of uggos, and you want to make sure your audience doesn't tear its eyes out and can no longer watch your channel, in which case you can use the same filter to adjust the reflections in your shot so people can't see through the car windows. This makes using the CPL filter a really great option to up your camera game. So before we get into the nitty-gritty, the in-depth investigation into seriously shooting significant cinematic shots, competently configuring cameras, capturing cinematographic collaborations cleverly, I'm going to ask you to do two simple quick things. Click on those like and subscribe buttons down below. I make all of these videos and purchase these cameras accessories. Have to go to the expense of doing so yourself. I test out these gadgets that I pay for out of my own pocket, and the only thing I ask for you to do in return is click like and subscribe. It's not that hard, it only takes a few seconds to do so, and it doesn't cost you a single penny. So go ahead and click now. Like right now. Yeah, move your mouse, get clicking, be awesome. You can do it. So as you now know, using a CPL can cut down on unwanted reflections in your video. It does this through the awesome power of physics and changing the polarization of the light as it hits the lens of the camera. Basically speaking, Circular Polarizer Filters polarizes the light by selecting a polarization plane, then depolarizes it again. Now, rather than give you a whole physics lesson though, and put you to sleep, we're gonna say that it uses voodoo magic. Voodoo magic that makes all the reflections go away, but without having to sell your soul to Santa. Hail Santa. Now, CPLs are great if you're going to be doing shooting from a tripod or using your camera for taking photos. If you're a drone pilot or doing driving or bike riding or even flying, then it may not work as well as you want them to. And this is because as you move your camera, you're going to be changing the angle of the light coming from all those reflections, and you're going to need to keep adjusting the CPL to compensate. Whereas when you're taking photos or shooting from a tripod, your camera isn't moving anywhere near as much, and therefore the angle of light isn't changing. So just one adjustment then usually does the trick. So which CPL should you be using? Now for me this is an important question, as there are different CPLs out there and they all have their own pros and cons. The one that I use is from Camera Butter, and it's very similar to this Freewell CPL, which I'll link down below or up above or wherever those links go. Now the con about this filter is because it's so small and it's got those rounded edges being circular, this means when you're shooting in high resolution in wide field of views or hyperview, you're going to end up with small black edges on your photos or videos. This means you're going to have to slightly crop in on your footage to eliminate these completely. However, since this is designed for the Hero 9, 10 and 11, you actually have plenty of resolution and frame size to do that. Now there are much larger CPLs that don't have this issue, such as the 52mm CPL with an adapter. The advantage to this type of adapter means that you can use your DSLR 52mm lenses with your GoPro. So why not use this all the time? Well, those larger CPLs actually fit on top of your GoPro's protective lens cover, so you end up shooting through 3 layers of glass, which can reduce your overall image quality. And if you're using lens protectors, that's another layer of glass that you're going to be shooting through. And all these layers can add to a softer overall image, or sometimes even a rainbow type of effect on your footage. And that's why I stick to using this type of CPL filter. It's perfectly sized to fit onto the GoPro, as you can actually remove the protective lens and it screws on in the place. And it's very easy to do. So if you're shooting through the same amount of layers that you would be normally, this means that there's going to be yet another advantage to using this type of filter. It actually also has a really good advantage, and that is that it fits inside your GoPro's protective housing. So because it's the exact same size as the protective lens cover, It fits into the housing, no problem. So if you're filming in rainy conditions, mud or strong winds where you don't want debris being kicked up and damaging your camera, you can now film and have your camera protected using your protective case with the CPL filter. And this really is a huge advantage as you can shoot with the CPL and have your camera fully protected. For me, that's the number one reason why I actually choose this type of CPL filter over others. It gives me all the advantages of using a CPL with the added peace of mind that I can use the protective housing if needed. However, let's take a look at some of the footage that I managed to record earlier using the CPL, and hopefully it will give you an idea of why you should be using a CPL. So let's take this first example. Here's my car parked up at the airport, and as you can see there's a lot of reflections on the hood and the glass. And my car also needs washed, so if you're volunteering, hey, let me know in the comments down below. But as you can see, the reflections are there, but when I start turning the CPL, as you can see, those reflections disappear. If I keep turning, the reflections come back again. But this just shows you how the CPL can eliminate reflections or add reflections in, depending on what your need is. In this second example, as you can see, I'm panning down from the sky here, and now I'm adjusting the CPL. You can see that it makes those blues almost appear black. It brings out the definition in the clouds. And if we reduce the amount of CPL being actually used there, you can see that mid-tones and, the darks are adjusting accordingly, so you can really have a lot of control over your image. And in my final example, we're going to look at this puddle. And as you can see, by adjusting the CPL, you make the reflection in the puddle disappear almost completely, so you can see the tarmac underneath. And those are pretty good examples of why you should be using a CPL, especially if you're shooting water and that type of thing, or like I said, making car videos, because you can eliminate reflections completely. So there you have it, my review of the Camera Butter Circular Polarizer Filter. Now, if you like this review and learned something new, then go ahead and click those like and subscribe buttons. It's a great way to help out the channel and fund future videos, all at no cost to you. So until next time, cheerio. So remember, you have until April 2nd to enter the GoPro $1 Million Challenge. So if you have a GoPro Hero 11 or a Hero 11 Mini, then you should be out there right now shooting video and submitting your shots before it's too late. It's a great way to pick up some cash if you're a winner. And since it's coming up to St. Patrick's Day, be warned, I'll be releasing a playlist on my channel of real Irish music and Irish influenced music, so make sure you check that out and get your Irish on. Make sure you also check out Robo Fiesta's channel, as there will be a special St. Patrick's Day video being uploaded there as well. So if you like robotics and you like Irish, this one's for you. Cheerio.